So now that we've got a little bit of an introduction to Photoshop, let's begin. Right now, we are in Photoshop. If you ever wonder, what program am I in? Right now I'm in Finder. On a Mac, whatever the first word is past the apple, that tells you what program you're in. Some of the time you may open a JPEG, just double click on a JPEG, and it will open in the program preview. Not sure if let me see if I can make that happen. Here we go. So if I just double click on this image, it will open in preview. And if you're not paying attention, you'll start looking for the tools, your layers, your toolbar, your option bar, and you won't get it, and it'll take you a good couple minutes, but you will be thoroughly frustrated. So the best thing to do is check up here. Okay, I'm in preview, so I need to obviously open that image in Photoshop by right-clicking Open With and not using the default, but assigning it to Photoshop CS6. Right? That is why I usually use Bridge, and we will go over Bridge in another video. It's a great way to organize your files, label your files, and open directly from Adobe Bridge into Adobe Photoshop. So right now, we have a crooked image that's upside down, got a mess of dirt on it, and then when you flip it, you'll see how crooked the horizon is because we're on a boat or some kind of dock. So it was like bobbing up and down. It's pretty disconcerting. So let's just jump right in and see what we would need to do to flip this. I like to have my Move tool selected just as my default. The shortcut is V as in victory. And in the top menu, we're going to go to Image, Image Rotation, and we're going to flip this 180 degrees. And that gets us better, right? It gets us one step closer to having our image correct. All right. So it's still a little crooked. And if you notice, the first thing I noticed is that it's missing this top scalloped edge. So I can choose to crop it in and get rid of that. But one of the nice things about that is it kind of gives us a little bit of feel, a little bit of vintage feel. So I might end up copying this bottom and pasting it up here. But let's see. Second thing we need to do is straighten it. And when you straighten something, you want to use this top, not this, because this is actually crooked. But you're going to use this top in order to tell you what will now be the true horizon. I'm going to go over to my toolbar and select my crop tool. And you'll see that my option bar changes and I get this dotted line around the image. What I like to do is grab the straighten. You depress this little level, and then your cursor will change to a little level icon. Drag it along the top, and in essence you're saying, Photoshop, adjust this image 4.7 degrees and make a new straight horizon for me. You can sit here with the crop tool and kind of try and work it, but to me that's just kind of frustrating. If the crop tool is just gone crazy and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, hit escape. Escape resets it, right? So you're not stuck with it. Another new thing to the crop menu is delete cropped pixels. If I'm working on a photographic image, I uncheck this because I may change my mind. In this case, even though it is a photographic image, I'm not going to want this black space back. There's no detail there. There's no information there. So I'm going to check delete cropped pixels because I don't want those pixels anymore. I'm going to select the straighten tool, draw a line atop the horizon, and then adjust it so I can still see my borders. And I'm going to leave a little bit extra room up here and then hit return or the check mark to apply. When you crop an image, it is applied to the entire image, same as if you rotate an image. It's different than doing something to a layer. You can't crop a layer. You can edit what you see on a layer. So now that we've got that cropped, we can see very dirty, very crooked, super dirty. Let's save our file before we go any further. File, save as, and everything in here will be named the same way. Last name, underscore, project 1. In this case, we are going to make sure that we use the format Photoshop. If we save it as a JPEG, which is another common format, we will lose our layers. We need layers. This entire file will be built like a building from the ground up. I'm going to save it to my desktop so that I can copy it to my hard drive when I'm done and hit save. Takes just a minute. If I minimize this, I can now see that I have got my original old photo and then my project in work that has my name underscore project 1.